order for an influencer to be successful, they must have 1. Relevance, which is when the influencer is sharing content and has an audience relevant to the business and or industry. Reach, which is the number of people an influencer could potentially reach through the influencer's follower base, which will bring value to the business. And lastly, they must have resonance, which is the potential level of engagement the influencer can create with an audience that's relevant to the brand. Bigger isn't always better. A huge follower count is meaningless if those followers aren't interested in the business's offerings. A smaller follower count can be very powerful if it's a niche area and the influencer has a dedicated and engaged following. Tap Influence found that engagement rates are often higher for micro-influencers, which are influencers with 5,000 to 25,000 followers total. I want to introduce to you Jenna Cooper. This is a perfect example of what an influencer embodies. She's paired up with multiple brands to advertise their products for them because of her following. If we scroll down, the first company we look at is called Teamy Blends. Teamy Blends is a company that mixes teas, herbs, and natural ingredients in order to make plant-based solutions. Most of the time when you get an influencer to market your products, it's because they have something that the brand embodies, and in this case, it's the fact that Jenna is fit. If we go back and scroll a little bit farther down, we find that she does marketing for a home gym mirror, again correlating to her fitness. At the bottom you notice she uses the hashtag mirror partner, making it clear that she has partnered with the company to advertise their products. As we continue to scroll farther down, we find another picture of her in the Teamy bottle, which is the same company we previously discussed. An influencer who has roughly 1 million followers can make anywhere from $10,000 to $250,000 per post, depending on what kind of engagement they get. According to Madison Fisher, a digital marketing manager from Cloudgate Media in El Segundo, California, 5,000 to 20,000 followers is an ideal number for Instagram. As a general rule, when the number of followers goes up, engagement goes down. Too many followers could lead to the consumers viewing the influencer and/or brand as a sponsorship saturation, otherwise known as an ad overload. The influencers then begin to lose their credibility.
I do not go on Instagram to find products, but I don't avidly look for them. But they just pop up, kind of like spam almost, just from people I follow, like famous people. I've personally never purchased anything that an influencer would be trying to sell to me, but I do see a lot of items. Well, items like little knickknacks, stuff that people don't really necessarily need.
Yeah, I usually follow like athletes, mainly like UFC fighters, because like I'm into fighting.
Okay.
And you know, sometimes like George St. Pierre, he has his own brand of like gloves and stuff, and I'd buy a pair just to support him. But other than that, no.
I would say it depends on their following, to be honest with you, because I think a lot of the influencers who have a large following, it's really saturated with what they're actually advertising. So I think it just depends, but I do trust influencers who have a smaller following because I feel like they're not getting paid as much.
Because they're just people like anyone else, and they know they can make a lot of money for saying certain things. It's like if you're trying to prosecute someone and like the defense attorney says something, you're not going to trust the defense attorney because they're getting paid to say that. So like, why would you trust them?